Zombie apocalypse.
Right then, we are back with a new video, and all the legendary edition races are now done. So all 8 of them are done, and they're on my YouTube channel. So go check them out if you're new to the channel. We are now on to the normal races, and I thought I'd start off with a team very close to my heart. Basically the Orcs. I fell in love with these guys when I was a wee teenager, around about 13, 14, and I've always loved Orcs. I've always thought it was funny. I used to love the Black Orcs because they were big and strong, and they was quite serious compared to the rest of them, and they always made me laugh. And I thought, you know what, I've had a lot of success with Orcs in competitions and everything during my lifetime, and I thought, you know what, why not? Let's start off with the Orcs, and we'll go from there. So, what I do in these videos, these are basically roster tactic videos. So we'll look at what's the best starting set for the team, in this case the Orcs. I'll then tell you which team I would take if I was trying to qualify for the Champions Cup, the cyanide official one on the computer game, the PS4, the Xbox One, the PC, and what I think has got the best chance of getting me off to a good start and getting me into the playoffs, and hopefully getting some of that cash prize reward for getting to the semi-finals or better. And then we'll have a look at the skill ups, why I take the skill ups, what you could do, and why you would take them, and how they complement each other. So let's get started. With the Orcs, I've just got the 2 rosters. I've got one with and one without the troll. Now, with Orcs, to me, over the years, it's very simple what to go for. This is a roster I've used so many times. You've got a thrower, 4 blitzers, 4 black orcs, 2 linemen, or line orcs, 3 rerolls. This is solid. This is a solid roster. 10k in the bank, so obviously another 40k and you can get yourself an apothecary. The only contentious thing about these teams is the thrower. Some people refuse to take throwers, some people like them. I'm totally in the middle when it comes to throwers. I usually take them early doors while the rest of the team gets built up, just because of the show hands ability, and pass skill, just in case I get in so much trouble I've got to try something crazy. Then usually if my thrower dies after about 15, 16 games, I just won't get another thrower. I know a lot of people don't like the thrower because he's armor 8, and really you want as much armor 9 on the pitch as possible, and obviously he's only movement 5 for a ball handler's pretty poor. But they do give you obviously access to a cheap lady reroll if you wish, and some passing skills as well. Your 4 blitzers, they're going to be workhorse. They're going to do all the good stuff and hunting down catches and scoring threats. And then your 4 Black Orcs, they're going to dominate that offensive line. They've got to dominate the middle. If they can't dominate the middle, then you're in serious trouble because you don't have the speed to go around very experienced coaches. And then your line Orcs are just there just to do what they do best. Tag the most dangerous players on the other opposition, holding Crocs goes up and stuff like that. And with having armor 9, that always helps them take on the biggest, baddest of the opposition. As obviously Claw is the big danger to Orcs, because it nullifies one of their strengths, and that's their armor. So Claw obviously makes them armor 7, and as you can see, most Orcs are armor 9. Right, the only other roster I ever think of is if you want to take the Troll. And this is basically almost the same build. It's still got your thrower, it's got your 4 blitzers, your 4 black orcs, and instead of having 2 line orcs, you only have the 1, and you have a troll instead. So that's a big upgrade on the line orc. The problem is you lose a team reroll, so you have 2 team rerolls. That's the problem. So the troll, when he's behaving himself, is fantastic because he'll give that beefy offensive line of 4 Black Orcs even more beef because he's strength 5. And, and he's got Mighty Blow as well, so it gives you a Mighty Blow piece right off the bat. So, it gives you more punch. The only negative with this, like I say, is the reroll. I hate going with 2 rerolls. I know a lot of people don't care about it. And if you don't, this is probably the better build of the 2. So if you're quite happy to go with 2 rerolls, then that's fine. The problem is, though, is really you want 3 rerolls. So you either level up your thrower and get a leader straight off the bat, although me personally I want block, or save up 120 grand to get a reroll. But the problem is you'll want an apothecary before that. So you're probably looking 5-6 games, basically, before you can afford a team reroll. Well, it's a lot of games, because if you start losing like a Blitzer or a Black Orc, then you're going to replace them. And I'm just thinking the better way to do it would be to start off with the one with the reroll already. What means you're more reliable. You've still got a big, powerful pack of 4 strength 4 Black Orcs. So, you're still going to overpower a lot of the teams at early doors as well. So I just think the troll is something you can get later on. And obviously the troll is unreliable as well. So, they can be turnover machines, or they can go stupid at the worst possible moment. So I personally, for the Champions Cyanide Cup, or what you want to call it, the Sea Ladder Cup, I would go with this build because it's a better build. I've had a lot of success with this build in various things before, leagues and everything, and I think you won't go wrong with this build. By far the best build. And it's probably the most popular build you'll see as well. So that's my tip. They're the 2, like I said, both very good builds. I just think this is more reliable, to be honest. So when we've got obviously picked our roster, then we're going to see how we're going to start them up. Now the problem with me is I have my own set ways of building these, so I don't deviate much from the way I build them. So what I've done, I've added some other builds and crazy builds just so we've got a few different options. So we'll start off with the thrower. There's 2 ways you can do him. You can build him into a complete thrower, and this is the way you do it. So he's already got passenger hands, then you go with accurate. Then you've got dump off, nerve of steel, and strong arm. If you roll a double, get a strong arm. I always think it's a bit bad that not an orc thrower not having a strength access, because they are big and green and nasty, aren't they? But they don't need a double. So if I roll a double fair skill, I take strong arms. Then I'll take accurate after that. Then I take dump off, and then I take nerve of steel. There's no block on this guy because he's basically there just for the offensive drive. And if he gets hit, I'm dumping the ball off if I've got that skill at the time. It's not a bad sort of build. My son, he as an orc team. His team's very different to normal orc builds. He's got like agility 5 blitzers, agility 4 blitzers. And he did, until it sadly died, he had a real nice orc thrower. Very similar build to this. And he did really well for him. So I wouldn't say you wouldn't get any success with this. I just like to run the ball with orcs. And if I'm going to run the ball, this is the sort of thing I want. I obviously will start with block. If I roll a double, first skill, second skill, I'm going dodge because I think dodge is so important on an orc thrower. And another skill, what is so fantastic on an orc thrower is kick off return. It is fantastic because you're only movement 5. So if you go kick off return, you get 3 squares of free movement. That is a godsend on such a slow piece. This has got me out of trouble so many times as kick off return. It's one of the very few races I take kick off return on, and I'm glad I do because it's just awesome. It really is. So I would strongly recommend kick off return after block if you don't roll a double. If you don't roll a double in your first 3, if you're in your first 3 skills, probably go maybe with fend. Because if someone tries to take you out and they fail to, at least you've got that bit of space, haven't you? Because you're only agility 3, you don't want to be trying to dodge. And if you haven't got that dodge skill, because you didn't roll a double, then obviously that means you have to burn a reroll. Or if you haven't got a reroll, then you're like, oh god, I dare move. So fend would get rid of a lot of that trouble. But this is the sort of build you're looking at. Agility or strength, I'd take that like a shot. Both of them would be fantastic for this build. Movement wouldn't be too bad. I'd rather take movement after I've got some like block, kick off, return, and maybe another skill. Armor, I won't even waste. It's just a waste armor. Because at the end of the day, these easier throwers are not supposed to get hit. So if you're worried about giving them an extra piece of armor, you're not doing your job right. Because out of all the orcs, these should be protected. And to be fair, armor 8 is the standard average armor anyway, so it's not like it's terrible. So like I said, they're the two ways to build it. I would build it this way, to be honest. But I've seen success both ways. Right then, blitzers. Right, okay. The way I build my blitzers is usually block. I'll get some mighty blow in there. I'll get some tackle in there, and guard usually. But usually all my built that way. Here's the killer build. Obviously, you've already got block, so you go with mighty blow, and then you've got the option of either piling on or tackle. I usually go mighty blow, then tackle, and then divert from there. But if you're going for the pure killer build, these are the 4 skills I need: mighty blow, pile on, tackle, and frenzy. Tackle will help you take down the blodgers. Frenzy gives you two bites of the cherry, and obviously pile on gives you 2 chances to injure them. These are very as nasty as you can get them, basically, orc blitzers. And having a couple of them on your team really do strike fear into your opponent. Here's another interesting build. I don't really use this much, but a few of my friends do, and they swear by it. Start with block, get guard, because obviously you need guard on an orc team. Then you go for tackle, strip ball, and frenzy. It's basically there to try and get the ball loose. You're not going to be going leaping into cages on stuff like this, but if you can manipulate a shot at the ball carrier, then you've got a good chance of getting rid of the ball. If they haven't got show hands, then obviously strip ball comes into play. If they've got blodge, tackle comes into play, doesn't it? Obviously, you're not going to go. I wouldn't go wrestle because you already got block. It's not a build I usually use, but I hear from a lot of orc players if this is a really good build, so I thought I'd pass it on. This is a build I quite like. I don't use it as much as I used to. But it depends, obviously, what type of league you're in. Obviously, guard again, because guard's important. Stand firm, because why not? And if you roll a double anytime, get dodge, because blodge and stand firm is a pain in the backside. You're arm and arm, and it's fantastic. This blitzer is built to hang around with the black orcs if possible, and try and break into that cage or drive down or basically hold that middle line. And obviously with him being stand firm, it can work alongside a black hook and even hold a flank. And obviously he's got tackle as well, so he can take a blodge piece out. It's blodge, so he's hard to take down, and if you're not moving him because of the stand firm, this guy can make tons of trouble for your opponent. It's a build I've used to a lot of success. It's just getting them to that build. So guard, stand firm. But if you roll double before you get them, then take it for dodge, because a blodge orc is still fantastic. Movement I wouldn't take. Armor definitely wouldn't take that. But strength, agility, definitely. Any day of the week. Because agility would work well with the blodge, and the strength would certainly work well with your stand firm, guard, and everything like that. So it's a really good solid build, that. And here's another build. Now, a lot of people, like I said, there's always and ahhings about shall we take a throw or not. So what a lot of people do is they convert one of the blitzers into the ball carrier. So what you would do if you wanted to do that, where you'd go with show hands, because obviously then you can obviously 3+ with a built-in reroll to pick the ball up. Also saves you from strip ball as well, what's very key, because a lot of, especially with the legendary edition coming out, there's a lot of teams what could get strip ball as well. And I think people are gonna get found out if they don't start taking show hands on the ball carrier, because there's a lot of new races now what can get to your ball carrier a lot easier, and a lot of these builds will have a strip baller in there. So I think it's very important to get show hands. Again, if you roll double, you get dodge to give you blodge, so it makes it harder to get the ball off him. Fend, like I said, if they don't get you down, get some space between you and your opponent, and obviously protect you from piling on and stuff like that. And kick off return, again, fantastic skill, makes you move 3 squares close to the ball, and sometimes they'll even put you right under it. So, you know, this is a nice build. You've got the extra little bit of movement 6. If you didn't want like Fend or kick off return, you could go down. What could you do? Could give it Dauntless, try and punch his way through. I mean, I would use this show feet and sprint, but their agility, and he'd need to roll doubles for them. So the chance of you rolling 3 doubles, because obviously you got dodge as well, would be hard. So I think overall this would be the build I go. If I'm doing a ball carrier, then I'd go with this. After this, maybe give him Mighty Blow, maybe just give him a bit of biff, but I think you're alright with this. You're really hoping for an agility increase with this guy or a strength increase. Both of them make this guy tons better. Again, movement on a ball carrier I probably would take, because obviously if he's going to be doing all the running, then obviously having movement 7 is a lot better, and obviously potential movement 9 with the 2 GFRs. Armor, no, obviously I wouldn't take it, because the things what most scary to Orcs are things with claw, and they make you armor 7, so it doesn't matter how much extra armor you take. Right then, so that's them done. Now then, the lovable troll. Crikey, these guys make me pull my hair out. They really do. I'm just gonna have to grab a drink here, because it's troll time. So bear with me. So the thing with the trolls is that the way I look at it is you go 3 skills, and if any of them 3 skills you don't get a double, then I use this sack and go again. So you know that's basically how I do it. So I'd go guard, and then stand firm on normal rolls, or on a double I would go block. So that's how I would do it. Other skills. On strength, strong arm's quite good if you're going to be using goblins. If you're not going to be using goblins, then I wouldn't bother. Piling on is a really funny animation. I just get it just because it's a really funny animation. Grab is okay because it can manipulate space for you to go through, and obviously break tackle is always good. The only problem with break tackle is when I get it, I always seem to roll a 1. But that is another option. I wouldn't waste time with Juggernaut. I really wouldn't. Multiple block, not really. And thick skull, no chance. If I rolled another double, then there's 2 things I'd look at. I'd either go pro, what makes my my troll a lot more reliable, or if I'm really lucky, let's say to get block fair skill, and then oh my god, I've just rolled another double in the next say 2 level ups. I'd probably go dodge, because then if I've got dodge, I'd then go break tackle, because that means in a normal standard cage where there's obviously 4 corners, you're dodging into a cage on a 4+ with a built-in reroll, and that seems a lot more threatening than having pro. Yes, sometimes it will go wrong, and yes, sometimes your guy will go stupid, as I like to say. But there'll be times when he'll just crash in that cage and rip the ball out of the opposition's hands and win your games as well. So that's the sort of options I would go with. But like I say, the first 3 skills you'll be going for is guard, stand firm, and block. If you don't get blocked by the 3rd skill, I'm more than likely to sack him if I've got the cash and buy another one. Because I'm only going to take break tackle really on this guy is if I've got really lucky and got some doubles early. And the only reason I want to keep this guy is if I've got block, because I daren't do out with him without block. The amount of times I've got 3 dice with this guy and he'll either go stupid or he'll roll skulls on both downs and cost me a turnover. So I never feel confident with a big guy unless he's got block. At least if he's got guard and stand firm, I can put him somewhere and just leave him there, and he'll do his job. But if I want to hit with these guys, I really want block. Like I said, if you come to your 3rd skill and you haven't got block, the only reason I'd keep him is if you've got some goblins, so I'd go strong arm and then preg at the fourth level up. But if I don't buy the 4th level up, I would be really tempted to just start again. But trolls, like I said, they're a bit Marmite. Some love them, some don't. And like I said, you've just got to remember the big guys. Big guys always let you down at the worst possible moments, so be careful what you do with them. The best thing with the trolls is just put them somewhere and keep them there. And if they've got stand firm and guard, then that's brilliant, because that's all they need. Right then, Black Orcs, my favourite guys. Movement 4, strength 4, armor 9, agility. Who cares about agility? You don't need it. This to me is the best build. I would build probably all 4 like this. Start with block, then guard, then you can either go stand firm or mighty blow. Now a lot of people go block, mighty blow. You can do that. That'll speed up your XP. That's fun. I usually do a bit of each. I usually do 2 mighty blow, 2 guard. And then the 2 guard pieces I'll give stand firm to, and the 2 mighty blow pieces would then get guard, and then get the rest of them. If any time after getting block, because obviously stuff you get block on your first, obviously skill. And I rolled a double, I'd be tempted on 1 or 2 of these to go with dodge. I wouldn't take it on all of them to start off with, because you need guard. Guard's so important, and if you've got 4 Black Orcs of strength 4 with guard and stand firm, they are absolute a nightmare to try and punch through in the middle. That's why sometimes on teams I just leave mighty blow and just go guard, stand firm on all 4 of them. Then you stick the troll in there with stand firm and guard, and you've got a wall of pure beef, haven't you? 5 big strength pieces, all with guard and stand firm. Good luck trying to get through that middle. Honestly, it is just so hard. Yes, they do skill up slow because they haven't got mighty blow, but you know, if you can ride it, especially in the long league like the Cyanide Cup, you know, if you can ride through it, and like I said, some teams you're playing 30, 40 games, but then hopefully you'll get a few of them where they've gone guard, stand firm, and then got mighty blow. But again, it's your own personal preference. If you want to go mighty blow, then go block, mighty blow guard, then stand firm. That's fine. That's the other way you can do it. But just remember, guard is a very important piece on the Orc. Yes, they've got strength, but the guard makes sure they're top dogs when it comes to scrapping. And you'll find out a lot of the times when you play like against claw teams, like for instance Chorfs, they're only strength 3. Werewolves, they're only strength 3. And Chaos Warriors, yes, they are strength 4, but usually Chaos kill teams don't have guard. So if you've got a strength 4 Chaos Warrior and he's trying to hit a Black Orc strength 4, and that Black Orc's got guard on the other side, it's a red die. So the chance of him knocking you down is very slim. So you've got to keep the guard on your side. Simple as. If you see an Orc team with a lot of mighty blow against an Orc team with a lot of guard, use the guard team wins, because he's getting the 2 die blocks where the other team, if they're lucky, they might be on 1 die. So, you know, mighty blow's no good to you if you're not getting the powers. And the best way to do that is getting the guard, getting the 2 dices more times than not. This is the build I would look to build all 4 my Black Orcs. The only other option, what I'll try, and one of my son who plays in a private league, he's got a guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, shameful. Frank Gore, I think is called. He's basically a killer. He goes mighty blow and piling on, and he was alright. First season he didn't do very well. Then he added frenzy, and all of a sudden he started smashing stuff a lot better. So you're saying to me, why ain't frenzy there? Well, the reason why is because I like to go with guard. So even if I do stuff like this, I want guard first. Now people say, yeah, but you got piling on. You can't be guarding if it's on the floor. Yeah, the key thing with piling on is you only pile on if you break armor with these guys. You know, yes, every so often you'll take the gamble when you haven't broke armor and you'll come off good. But the only time I use piling on is when I know broke armor and I've stunned him and I think, you know what, it's worth it to try and get him off the pitch. And if it fails, will have a big negative impact on the rest of my team. If it does, then I won't do it. If it doesn't, then I'm going to do it. But that's the problem with these big guys. You want them stood up more time than not. You want to use the strength. You want to use the guard. You want their physical presence, and that's why I usually go will throw these guys and not any of these guys. If I want that sort of build, killer build, I'll use my blitzers, because my blitzers can go all over the place much more easier, and most of the times the things I want to squish are the ball carriers or the scoring threats, not the guys actually in the middle, because my guys can take care of them. You know, and even things like Yetis with Claw and that, you know, they're armor 8, but if you've got Mighty Blow, you've still got a good chance of getting them down anyway. And if you've got Guard, you can out-guard stuff. Now, these next two builds are just crazy builds, because I was thinking, well, what else do I do? Because that's the only two builds I've ever used, really. This is obviously, you'd have to be very lucky, but let's just say you rolled a 6/6. Wow. Strength 5, fantastic, you got it. Now, if I get this in my first two skills, block and strength, I am so going break tackle, because it gives you a cage breaking threat. And then if you was to roll another double and get dodge, whoa, what a player this guy is. Oh, fantastic. Not even got any negative learner trait or anything. Diving into a full cage on a 4+, or a standard cage onto a 4+ with a reroll. Fantastic. And his strength 4. Chances are he's going to get 2 dice on him. Wonderful. And I'm going to throw a tackle in there as well. So the chance of this ball going down is fantastic. Yes. Chances of getting this guy with a strength upgrade? Well, I don't know the mathematics, but it's pretty slim. But if you do get strength early doors, this is a way you could go. Personally myself, without trying to sound boring, if I got strength, I would probably do the boring thing. Go and get guard, go and get stand firm, smash the side of a corner, and park him there. Then if I rolled another double, I'd probably go diving tackle. Boring, yes. Effective, very much so, and more likely win you more games. But yeah, this is just straight. If you get lucky and get the strength increase, that's what you can do. Something different. The other, well, I don't know if you want to call it crazy build. The other one is a ball blitzing Black Orc. Is that what you would call him? His job's to get rid of the ball. So instead of getting block, you give him wrestle. Yeah, that's right, wrestle. Then you give him break tackle. Then you pray for a double and get dodge. And then you give him other ball stripping things like tackle and strip ball. Yes, I know you're all probably thinking I've gone crazy and I've gone completely off on a random jaunt about something crazy, and you're probably right. But I just want to try something crazy and different. So if anyone out there is brave enough to try this build and let me know, please do. I'm sure sometimes this will work. Your break tackle obviously makes you. It means that you can disengage on a 2+. Most times you wouldn't want to because you want to hit stuff, but just in case you need to, you can do that. Tackle means you can take out blodgers. If you get the dodge skill, yeah, you get a break tackle with a free reroll built in, and then things like strip ball and that as well. Technically, with this guy, you're more likely to try and kamikaze going into a cage on a 5+ with a reroll. Well, still, I can't remember the odds, but they're pretty good odds. Would I ever take this build? Only in fun leagues or farm leagues or battlefield leagues or whatever you want to call them. You know, a fun competition. I've never tried it, but I just wanted to give you another option. Anyone tries this, let me know. But yes, I'm a bit boring, I'm afraid, with my Orcs. I go, like I said, with the first build. Just works out a lot better. Now, your good old Lan Orcs. Good old Lan Orcs. There's only 2 skills I want with Lan Orcs, block and guard. Obviously, guard, unfortunately, need a double. If you get a double, then get it. Even if you get the double before block, you take guard. Get as much guard as you can. The more guard your Orcs have got, the better chance they've got of winning the game. Yeah, exactly. The other option would be tackle, because obviously, again, it means you can hit blodgers. What else could you go for? Dauntless if you really want to, but again, you've got a lot of power to take out the big lads. You could go for kick if you want. It's not great on Orcs. You could try short kick off if you wish, but yeah, it's situational. Frenzy would be another option. Probably not. Characteristics on these guys. Strength, yeah. Agility, probably. Movement allowance, nah. And armor, no. Just while we're at it, because I did forget to say what I take on a Black Orc. Black Orc, yes, definitely take strength. Agility, no way. Movement, no way. Armor, no way. The only stat I'm taking is strength. I don't need movement for Black Orcs. Their job is to stick in the middle and dominate. If they come to use the extra movement to run after a ball carrier or after a scoring threat, that means I'm in serious trouble and my blitzers haven't done their job. So strength would be the only one to take for Black Orcs. But for these Lan Orcs, I'd take strength or agility. The only way I'd take movement is probably later on, and that's only if this Lan Orc's like a last line of defense. Then I suppose movement comes a bit more appetizing. Now then, obviously, why not have a data player for 70 TV? Why not? No frills, Lan Orc with data player. They're fantastic. And they're a lot better than goblins, because goblins can only get sneaky git. Well, it's an alright skill, but if you want a data player, it costs the same. So data play goblin is the same price as a 70-point orc. The difference is orcs are a lot more reliable with the armor 9, so they'll stay on the pitch longer, and with them being strength 3, just a lot better, so they can do other duties instead of just stamping. Talking about goblins, you're allowed 4 of them, and there's a few ways you can do. Even just a simple 1 level up goblin with catch could cause problems. It can go slightly ahead of where you run your ball carries with his posse of defenders, and he can get himself into scoring threats, or or he can move 1 or 2 of these goblins to the other side of the pitch, and he will drag defenders. Or people will just laugh at him and just totally ignore him, and then you've got the option of scoring quickly with him, because with him having the catch, hand it off, 3+ with a reroll. Thanks very much. See you later. Touchdown. Ha ha ha. Told you should have sent someone to stop him. And if they go over there and blitz the goblin, then if they blitz the goblin, that means they're not blitzing your good pieces like your Black Orcs and your blitzers. So it's a win-win situation. And also having a goblin does give you that chance of a 1-10 touchdown with a troll if you've got one. This guy, it's like a broken record, and it with me in stunties. Sidestep and diving tackle, great combination. You tag the ball carrier, tag someone who thinks you're going to score. If they can't knock you away, then you just if they can't knock you down, then obviously you stand there. If they try and blitz and they don't knock you down, and they only get a push, you can maneuver your way around to keep in their tackle zones. And then if they try and dodge away, here you got diving tackle on -2. So it makes them harder to get away from, yeah. If you've just got the 1 skill, a lot of times when I've got orc teams, I'll take diving tackle before sidestep, just for the main reason is I'll have someone already on him, and then I'll just tag him with the diving tackle piece. But I'll position him so that if he blitzes the goblin off, there's still a tackle zone on him, if that makes sense. But again, when you play a sidestep and down tackle, try and block the running lanes. Make him try and blitz you. Try not give him a free hit, because AV7 stunty plus 1 injury rolls doesn't bode well if this guy gets gets his armor broken, and he will do if he keeps getting hit all the time. So be careful to use these guys to base up only when you need to. This is like this one's like a bit of a ball carrier, and basically, start off you roll double, fantastic. You've got blocks, so all of a sudden you've got bludge, and then you don't need a double after that. You get show free, so you move 6 and then 2 GFIs with build and reroll. Then get sprint, so all of a sudden now we can move up to 9, and then catch is fantastic because you can get the handoff to him. So an Orc Blitzer could have it first off because he's obviously going to protect it better maybe, and then he hands it off to this guy and then he bombs in, touchdown. He's also got stunty, so he's obviously dodging on the 3+ through as many tackle zones as possible. Agility for this sort of guy is a godsend because then he's obviously dodging all of the players on a 2+. Strength's not bad as well. It makes him harder to take down. Armor, the only reason I'll take armor on this guy is say for instance he's built like this, and I'm thinking, you know what, now I'll take armor. Movement is another skill I'll take as well, because if he's your ball carrier, every little bit of movement you get is fantastic. like I say, I like my Orcs having the ball. I use my Goblins more of a handoff to score than anything else, or fouling stuff. But if you definitely want a ball carrier, this is the way you should build him, in my opinion. And that's it. That is basically the Orcs and how to build them up. Like I say, I try and do my videos without all these stat ups like the strength and agility. Obviously, if you get them sort of stat ups, it just changes the build significantly in some aspects. But Orcs, the key things with Orcs is guard and power. That's what they need. Guard is the most important thing. And if you can get them to guard and you can keep them in place and don't get them pushed off, it's fantastic. And if you've got 3 stand firm pieces, the chances of some of these great elf teams and scaring teams getting a 110 touchdown against you is harder, because unless they've got Juggernaut, they ain't pushing your guy anywhere, any of your 3 guys anywhere. So it's also good for that. And like I say, your 4 blitzers should be built to take out catchers, blodgers. So I always go block, mighty blow, tackle. At least one will get piling on. I'll get one with at least one with frenzy, just to give some sort of threat to the sideline. And then the only other option I would look at, if I really wanted to, would go down the guard, blodge, stand firm type, just to help my Black Orcs. But it's very rare to do that. But again, if you had one built like that, I wouldn't say it's a waste, because it will be very handy. And again, it's another piece helping out with guard, helping out with strength 4 pieces. So if your 4 Black Orcs are all guarded up and they've got stand firm, it's going to be hard to move them, because you usually say, oh yeah, well, I'll throw a red dart block, so as long as I get a push, I can push him out, and then I can gang up on the other Orc. But the thing is, if all they get is a push, you're going to use stand firm, you're going to keep in place. So that guard's going to be active all the time. And even if they knock you down, you're going to get straight back up. Once you don't break arm, you're going to get straight back up. And already you're helping your Black Orc next to you again with the assist for the guard, or the assist for your blitzer or whoever else. And obviously you can go down the sides and feel a lot more safer, because you've got that guard and stand firm in place. So you don't have to look out for Juggernaut. And to be honest, not many people take Juggernaut. So, you're not going to see that often. So, guard, stand firm, and smattering of mighty blow for your Black Orcs. Your blitzers, block, obviously, you get already. Tackle, mighty blow, guard. And then at least one of them with piling on, just so he's a bit more of a killer piece. Throwers, like I said, I like to go the runaway, so I'd go the runner build, like I'm showing you there. If you do want to go the passing route, then by all means, they are decent, but Orcs aren't really there to catch. They're there to bash and run other people. That build is so much better, like I said, in my son's team, where you've got some agility blitzers. So like agility 4, agility 5 blitzers like my son has. And then they come a better build. Another thing you could put on that build as well is safe throw, if your levels up even anymore. And like I said, with your troll, you're looking for basically guard, stand firm, then block. If you don't get a double in the first 3 skills, then I would more likely rinse and repeat. The only reason I wouldn't rinse and repeat with the 3rd skill is if I had goblins and like chucking them for 1-turners, then I'd take strong arm. But you really need block on a troll, because it's so unreliable, like most big guys are. And then obviously, like I say, if you're a lineman, block and guard are your best 2 things. If you get roll double, get guard always on these linemen, because that will help out your Black Orcs big time. Your blitzers are there to bash with the killer builds. Like I say, if you want a dare player, I'd rather have a line orc than the goblin, because dare play is just more useful. Usually when you're stamping and all that, you've already got 3 or 4 assists to do it, so the chances of breaking armor are very good. So sneaky, it's less useful. Like I say, if you want goblins in your team, obviously just catch by yourself is useful. You can send them ahead of, like a scout ahead. And if he gets creamed, then so be it. I like to, if I do have a Goblin, is to send him to the other side of the pitch. So then he drags some defences away. They either honour the threat and take a few defenders over there, what makes it a lot easier for me to score with my big guy, with my main guys, or they'll leave him alone, and then if I want to, I can get it over to him and then give him the ball, and he can score. Yeah, sometimes it may be a throw on a 3+ or a 4+, but you've got the built-in re-roll for the catch. And even with the Blitzer, as long as you've got a re-roll, it's a 3-4+ with a re-roll. It's going to be successful more times than it's not. So it just gives you another option. And like I said, Orcs is all about guard and positioning and standing in place. You get that sorted, you'll win a lot more than you'll lose. So there you go. That's just the way I played it since I was 14, 15, 13, I don't know, when I was a teenager, and I won so many competitions in the local Hull stores and everything. And I just love Orcs. So this is the team I played most than any other race, and of all the races out there, this is the team I'm more comfortable with because I've played them for over 20 years. So there you go. Anyway, that's me done for this video. Like I say, if you got any other good builds to share, put them in the comments. And obviously as well, if you've got any questions or want to ask me anything, feel free to ask that as well, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Obviously, please subscribe, because if you do, then you'll get all the videos. They'll tell you when there's a new video out, because at the moment there's loads of videos going out. I mean, I've just done this Orc one now. Cell Commander so badly wants a high health one doing, so I'll be doing that next. And then I think Gimblek, the current PSL champion, wants Necromancers doing, and so I'll do them. And then we'll go on to the ones. There's going to be various weekly shows as well to do with the Cyanide Cup when that comes out, and plenty of other stuff. So it's very good if you subscribe, because you get to see all that content. So that's me done. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.